Welcome to Something to Talk About from the Bainbridge Island Senior and Community Center. Glad to have you here. We're going to be talking with Larry Devlin from KC Help, which is an organization that provides medical or medical related equipment and at no charge to whomever needs it. We'll talk more about that in just a moment, but I want to start by acknowledging the folks at Fieldstone Communities who sponsor our program. Fieldstone offers assisted independent living and memory care up on Rolling Bay. They also have day stay and respite care programs. If you'd like to take a tour, call Randy O'Neill or Sierra Wood. Their phone number is 206 594 1010. They'll also be glad to treat you to a meal while you come by to check it out. And you can check out their website at fieldstonecommunities.com. I'd also like to acknowledge that we are meeting on the homeland of the Suquamish, the people of the clear salt water, who have lived here since time immemorial, and they have been stewards of these lands and waters since since time immemorial. And we are grateful for that and grateful to learn from them how we can become better stewards as well. Larry, thank you very much for taking the time today to talk to us a little bit about KC Help, which is, I guess, a program from Knights of Columbus. Can you tell us a little bit about the origin and sort of scope of the good work that your organization does?
You bet. Be pleased to. KC Help was founded 30 years ago in the Tri-Cities by a gentleman named Jerry Rhodes, and he continues to be the executive director of the entity in the Tri-Cities. They expanded into the Wenatchee area probably about 10 years later. So Wenatchee's been in business with KC Help about 20 years. I was in the Tri-Cities on a project before I retired and learned about KC Help. I was heavily involved in the Knights of Columbus over there, and never really had an opportunity to be involved because I was working. And when you work at a full-time job, it's pretty hard to be engaged in something like this. But anyway, when I retired, got back to Kitsap County, I thought we ought to give it a shot here because more than likely we have a need, and that certainly has played out. So we started here in Kitsap County. I'm going to say we had some fits and starts from 2017 to 2020, maybe helping 10, 15 people a month at the most, mostly word of mouth. I had gone to the Tri-Cities and got an 18-foot trailer full of equipment to kind of get us started and put it in my building on Bainbridge Island. So at that time, COVID hit
Yeah.
right at the beginning of 2020. So it turned out Helpline had been doing kind of hospital equipment lend program on a small scale, although it was the go-to place on Bainbridge Island, I learned, and continue to still hear people say, well, go to Helpline, get your equipment, because it became so ingrained in the
But
community.
but not true. Not true.
So anyway, COVID hit, Helpline quit handling equipment, and we continued. My phone is ringing. Don't you know? So
So you
so
you did that through COVID?
we did it all through COVID, and that's when we actually really took off. I have a whole plethora of metrics that kind of demonstrate our path. I don't know if you have a way to pull anything up here to show it, or maybe it's
Well,
just too much information, but
is it on your website or do you want to share your screen?
I could share a screen.
Okay, let me set you up to do that. I have to make a little adjustment here. But yeah, you've got I mean, you mentioned a minute ago about how it's hard to do a thing like what you're doing when you're retired. It's turned into a full-time almost avocation. seems like.
Absolutely. Yep. It's a full-time retired job. Believe me. But we're happy to be able to do it, and happy that we're able to do it physically and with the resources of the community that basically sustains us. So we're in a good position right now,
Yeah,
both health wise and financially, because of the way the community supports us.
well, it's a wonderful opportunity. I know that I have used it with my family. We needed a kind of a hospital table for my dad and a walker, and you were able to provide both of those at no charge as long as he needed them, and then we
Mhm.
returned them. And I saw at your building there on Bainbridge the work you do to restore, if you can, uh, equipment that doesn't need a lot of, that just needs a bolt or a tightening or
Mhm.
something to make it so it's still usable.
Right. Yeah, it's mainly a matter of inspecting them, cleaning, but it almost always needs some cleaning. Um, but you're right, there's oftentimes pieces missing or even walkers. Oftentimes we get them in, they've been put together incorrectly. I'm kind of surprised they even worked at all in some cases. But yeah, so we our cadre of volunteers are members of Knights of Columbus mostly. Our bylaws indicate that 75% of the volunteers are supposed to be members of Knights of Columbus, but in this community, our volunteers have served in the Navy or in the shipyard or Bangor or whatever, and actually had to fix submarines and the like. So they know how to do stuff,
All
which
right.
is
A
it's a
walker,
blessing.
a walker is something they can handle.
Yeah, they can handle it. If they screw it up, they're not going to hurt anybody. We'll just get rid of it. So not a lot of pressure. But we do try to make sure things are working properly, so.
So we mentioned walkers and wheelchairs and hospital rolling beds. What other kinds of equipment do you have go through your organization?
Well, can you get my screen?
You just need to press share and then pick the screen that you're looking at, and it should pop up.
Hey,
There we go. Yep, looks
okay,
like it's coming. There we go.
okay, so we first started talking about our trajectory. I
Right.
don't know if you see my mouse or not, but
Oh, yeah.
so right there where that dip is where COVID hit in early 2020. And you see how we took off. I mean, it just has been almost exponential ever since. So we're now, as of the end of last month, we've helped 8,426 people. So
That's
I
the,
think it's
that's,
kind of amazing.
yeah, that's the overall touching them once or twice or whatever.
Yeah, whenever we send something out, we do a service record and it compiles the metric here.
Uh-huh.
So you're asking the equipment types? Well, this within the last year,
Uh-huh.
within the last 12 months. So walkers. So we've provided 1,235 walkers. That's the biggest item. Wheelchairs, it's covering up, but I think it's 500 and something.
Yeah, 560 it says.
Yeah, the video is covering it up.
Yep, I can
So,
see it fine.
okay, and a wheelchair is very similar to a transfer chair. So if you add those two numbers together, that's almost 700 wheelchairs that we've provided to the community. The next item would be bath chairs and stools, bath benches. That's a big item. Crutches and canes, commodes, toilet risers. We got this other category that's basically the catch-all, that stuff we don't, they're small things that if you tried to account for every one of them, it would be another whole fiasco. But okay, anyway, beds, 190 beds. So when you think about the fact that our guys and gals are probably mostly in their 70s, and they're still hustling beds. And
And these are mostly hospital beds. They're the heavy
yeah,
beds with a lift on them, right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, they're pretty awkward, and they feel like they're getting heavier every day, I have to say. Transfer chairs, we talked about them. Knee scooters, 155 knee scooters. Uh, uh, Moving on, electric or power chairs, 104 of them over the course of a year.
Well, that's got to
Um,
be in itself a bit of a challenge because those are a little more complicated piece of machinery.
exactly. And our volunteers, um, as I said, they came to us fixing parts on submarines, and they are not shy about trying to figure these things out. So it's been kind of amazing. One of our volunteers, he's not a knight, down in Bremerton, was the in charge of the South Kitsap Fire Department's maintenance group, and he has embraced this whole power chair idea, and nothing scares him. So
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
yeah, it's great. So anyway, lift chairs. Those are the other things that are kind of heavy that we deal with. So that's kind of a picture. So over the course of a year, almost $1.5 million worth of equipment we sent out to the community.
That's wonderful. And you then often will see this come back, or you also get a lot of folks who are donating, right?
Yeah, we have never found it useful from our perspective to know how many things come back. We have a pretty robust inventory, although I have to say right now we're out of beds. So normally we aren't really much out of anything, but beds seem to run in cycles. But yeah, so we'd like to see beds come back, if
Uh-huh.
anything. We're not too worried about most anything else.
Well, if you happen to be, if you happen to have purchased a bed or a wheelchair or whatever for some loved one who passes on, or that they were using a walker and now they're using a wheelchair and are probably not going to go back to using a walker. It's a
Mhm.
wonderful, wonderful thing to let somebody else use that equipment rather than have it sit in your garage or uh, heaven forfend end up in the dump.
Yeah, I kind of think about that myself. Over those 5 years, where's the number here? 15,800 items we sent out. If you can imagine a pile of walkers and such making up 15,000 items, that's quite a savings into the landfill, I would say. So that's significant in my mind.
And you said that you started here on Bainbridge in 2017. And then I know that there's a location in Bremerton now.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, we've had it there about 3 years in the St. Vincent de Paul building where they used to have their furniture store. They when they moved to Wheaton Way, they made that space available to us. We've been renting it um, with the understanding that we would that it was temporary and that we would ultimately find someplace else. Well, we're at that stage right now where um, they want to start their demolition of that block so they can rebuild it, and they wanted us out. So we did go ahead and find a building. It's only a block and a half away. Here we go again. Um, and we bought it. So it's right across from Safeway on Callow. It's about, the whole building's about 10,000 square feet. We'll be using the upper floor of about 5,000 square feet. So we're in the process of working with the city to get our, well, we just got our building permit and we have to do some fire protection modifications, but we should be up and running before or probably just after the first of the year in that
Oh,
building.
that's great.
Yeah. So it's a bit of an expense. We're starting a capital campaign to help pay that off. And the way the community has supported us, I don't have any question that we're gonna be able to get that done fairly quickly.
So what is the size of your goal to pay off that purchase and then obviously retrofit?
Well, the purchase, it started out $800,000 building. We got it down to 600,000, which was pretty good. We were able to put down 225,000. So that leaves 375, but we do have these refurbishment items we gotta take care of, and that's about another 100. So we're probably talking almost $500,000, 500,000 before we get out of it. So.
There you go.
Yeah.
And tell me about, is your situation here, you said you were using your building on Bainbridge. Is that enough? Is that working out okay? Or is that also a pain point?
Well, it's kind of a pain point, although the size seems to be about right for what we're doing here. If we get overwhelmed, we haul stuff to Bremerton because of the space considerations. But I think if we had a more permanent location about the same size as that building would be, I think, more than adequate. That's my own building, so I'm basically donating it. And it's less than ideal for people to get to. So maybe someday, when we get through this Bremerton phase, we can start focusing on maybe a more permanent solution for the north end here.
So what is the square footage of your building?
It's 1,500 feet, but my airstream takes up about a quarter of it. So,
And are you looking for volunteers? You said you work through Knights of Columbus for many of your volunteers, but other folks who might be interested in this, are you open to their
sure,
help?
absolutely, yeah. There's a lady up in what is it, the Villas, Virginia Villas,
Yeah.
who recently volunteered. She said she could go pick up stuff and drop stuff off if it's light. And of course, we're open to anybody who might be able to give us a hand. We have a couple of nights on Bainbridge that help us, and so far so good. Although we would always like to have people kind of passing through and getting experience and actually experiencing this whole effort. So, yeah.
That's good. And there's some cost related to getting materials and so forth to do those repairs. I assume you are open to donations of smaller amounts besides the capital campaign.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, every time we provide a piece of equipment, we provide a donation envelope. There's no obligation, but that's what pays the bills. We do have expenses. Probably the most significant are things like insurance and fuel. Burn a lot of fuel, and the gas prices here are not very mild, to say the speak, to say this, to say the least. So that we also batteries for power chairs, for example. We ask people that are taking a power chair to help us with batteries, because more than often than not, the batteries are dead when we get them. If they're able to help us with batteries, that's great. If they don't, then we figure out a way to cover it for them. Repair parts. We don't buy any equipment, whole component equipment, but we do
Right.
buy quite a few repair parts. So that's another expense that we have. And then just the usual stuff, keeping the lights on, that kind of thing. But we don't have any paid employees. We're all volunteers.
Yeah, it's an amazing program. And you said before we started that mostly this is an effort that's tied to Knights of Columbus organizations in Washington State. You described how it started in Central Washington.
Mhm.
Has there been interest in other parts of the country?
There's interest. I'm starting to get a little more publicity out. We've been in our national magazine a couple of times. Right now I'm more focused on trying to get it in more places around the state. We have a gentleman up in Marysville who has a couple of storage units that he's put some equipment in, but he's only one or two guys up there. But they're kind of where we were in 2020. So there's some energy there. It's just a matter of carefully finding your way and not getting yourself overwhelmed. And I think ultimately they'll be successful. I was asked the other day to go down to Yelm and speak to the council down there because there's some energy down there to get started. We're helping a lot of people in Tacoma and beyond, so it'd be great to have closer reach through guys down there. So
Yeah.
we're continuing to kind of evolve around the state. So
Well,
that's the first
I
goal.
know that there have been periods where you and your wife have done a whole lot of work. It sounds like you're still very, very much involved. But it
Mhm.
sounds like you also have been getting some assistance. Sounds like, the idea of somebody helping to collect or distribute material that they can move themselves in their car. Wonderful, wonderful work. Everybody pitching in.
Yeah, and it's like one example of something we need. Maybe you have clients at the senior center, but we're needing an accountant. The accountant we've been using is over in the Tri-Cities. I would like to get
Ah,
somebody closer here. So if there's a number cruncher that needs something to do, we'd love to talk to them.
oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Marcy Burkell, who's on this call, posted as a heavy duty user of KC Help, nothing but positive help from them, from you.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I think that's a universal feeling from folks who have had occasion to do business, as it were, do business at the for
Yeah.
the price of free
Free?
with you.
Yeah, that's kind of fun to be able to say, you got to take it for free. I love that.
So tell me, are there any other things you want to mention today before we wrap this up? And if there's anybody on the call that has a question or a comment, I'd be glad to invite that.
I think we pretty much covered our hot buttons. Like I said, that building in Bremerton is really our next hurdle, if you will. And we're frankly relying on the community to help us through it. We don't try to reach out much beyond the county or for grants and things like that. So I think it's just a much more valuable resource if there's community engagement, if you will, or
Yeah.
ownership almost. So we're kind of relying on the community to help us get through this fairly significant expense.
Yes.
So,
Well, it's
but
good
yeah,
to
yeah,
have the space that you can warehouse this and a couple of other items that we'll repeat here. You mentioned that you're looking for hospital type beds and you're looking for a bookkeeper who might help
yeah,
out and
yeah, that would be
somebody with
great.
accounting experience.
That would be great. Yep.
And the website, if you want to learn more, is kchelpkitsap.org.
Mhm.
kchelpkitsap.org, and you can send an email from there, right, Larry?
You can, it has a contact us feature. Also on Google Maps, if you go into Google Maps and type in KC Help, it'll pop up both the Bremerton and the Bainbridge Island site, so you get information on our hours and contact information and that sort of thing. We're also on Facebook, KC Help Western Washington. We
Look at
got
that. You're
yeah.
heavy duty. You're in the social media and everything. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, what's amazing is all the people out there that are pointing people to us. There's a whole cadre in the Buy Nothing group and Bainbridge Islanders. They all seem to know about us and are pointing people to us all the time. So we love
So
that.
that's great. It looks like Ed or Jake might have a comment because you unmuted yourself.
I think we did. I just wanted to say thank you so much for providing this service. We had a neighbor that I was trying to help who all of a sudden was coming home and was going to need a walker just to get out of his car to
Mhm.
get upstairs. And we got a hold of you, and it was this all of a sudden, everything that we didn't think could happen. And I was able to zip out to your place, found you in that
Mhm.
beautiful spot in the woods. And got the walker back to us, and then we ended up passing that along to somebody else who needed it, and they
Okay.
knew where it had come from. But it was just, it's not just about the device, it's just the way you do it. You are such a
Yeah.
joyful, delightful, helpful, big-hearted soul, and thank you.
Well, that's too kind. Thank you for that. But just to add on to that, yeah, people get struck by something that they certainly were not planning on, for more often than not. And they don't know what they need. They don't even know what most of this stuff is called, and suddenly they're burdened with trying to figure out what they need and how to get the need satisfied. And when you have, the time differentials between when you need it and when insurance is going to cover it, that's usually a showstopper. Or even just getting out of the hospital. We found that we were making several trips to St. Michael's a week, probably 3 to 5 days a week. We were running a walker down to St. Michael's so they could discharge somebody. Well, we worked with the director there and managed to get a room that we keep stocked with those basic things, walkers,
Right.
and wheelchairs, and they just let us know when it runs dry, and we make another run down there and fill it up again. So
We need
people-
another knee scooter. We need another knee scooter.
well, certainly walkers and wheelchairs. That seems
Yeah.
to be the thing that keep people from being able to get discharged. So it saved a lot of trips.
That's great.
Yeah. So
That's an
But-
example of the community saying, okay, what can we do to
Yeah.
help make this happen?
yeah. Well, we
Good to
try
hear.
not to be the part of the problem. That's what we tell
You are
people that all the
definitely,
time. So
yeah, you are not part of the
Yeah.
problem. You are part of the
Yeah.
solution.
yeah, that's the hope.
Thank you, Larry. It is a pleasure
You
to
bet.
refer people to you because I know that the reactions that we heard from Marcy and Jake are the ones that are uniformly expressed. So Casey Help, we're grateful for you. And I know Helpline is grateful to have somebody who's managing this because it was a little overwhelming for them back before COVID. So
Yeah.
Good
Glad
work.
to be able to do it. As long as we can, we kind of joke and say, well, we're probably the next ones that need it. So we're trying to be there even for our own cadre of people. So,
yeah, and you know where to look for it because
Yeah,
you figured
yeah.
out how to get to your building.
yeah, you betcha. Okay.
Okay, thank you
Well,
for the
thank you.
time.
Well, thank you for allowing us to share this with you.